Hey everyone, it's Jake from Optimum, and this week on Tech Talk, we're going to be discussing why it may be advantageous for you to utilize reports to generate your dashboard charts instead of metrics or other ways. That is because it is a more scalable approach to creating charts than metrics, and I'm going to show you how to set that up. Let's get into it. One instance where you might want to use a report as the source of your charts on a dashboard instead of metrics sheet or sheet summary report is an instance where you're trying to get accounts by assigned to. So say we're trying to get a graph where we can see all of our accounts by assigned to. The easiest way to do that might seem to be, okay, let's take the folks who are assigned to this project and put them in a sheet like such and just do a quick countif calculation on whether or not that's the particular assigned to individual, right? And that's great, and that will get us the graph we want, as we see here at the top. However, say we want to add someone to this project, a new contributor that wasn't on here originally. If we did this and went ahead and saved it, that individual isn't accounted for on this tasks by assigned to sheet. So an individual would have to go in here and add that person to the sheet, and you need a process to do that. You need to make sure someone was assigned to do that, someone got alerted whenever someone new was added. There's a lot of stuff that goes into making sure that gets updated. However, if you instead use a report to run your tasks by assigned to as such, and you just filter it by items with no children, and group it by assigned to, and put your summary by assigned to count the rows that are included. If I give this a quick refresh, we should see Angela, the individual I added, pop up as a new section on here. And the reason you would do this is so that you have that flexibility, right? So that when folks are added to the project, they don't need to be added to a secondary sheet. They don't need to create a brand new metric, nothing like that. They just get added automatically to the report. So if we use this report as a source instead, that will be our second report here. I'm going to go ahead and give this a refresh. We should see Angela pop up as a category here on this second graph, where we don't see her pop up in this first graph. So that's just a really great reason as to why you might want to use reports as opposed to metrics when you can. Basically, if you're going to have a variable item where items might be getting removed or added frequently, and you don't want to see any items in there that aren't necessarily in the sheet, right? So as you see here, we still are just seeing our 3. We did drop the one that got reassigned to Angela here, so I'm down to 3 instead of 4 tasks. However, if you look over here on this chart, this has automatically added Angela as an individual who's contributing to the project, whereas we didn't get that added up here, right? So this way is the easier to use method and requires less maintenance long term if you roll up using this approach. There are instances where you might not want to do this, right? If you say wanted to do your status and you want to show you're not started, in progress, complete. Say you got to a point where you didn't have any in progress tasks for some reason, that column would then not be shown in the report if you're doing it that way. So if you want to make sure you show all of your different options, you want to make sure to use something besides reports. But if you have something with variable items such as contacts where they might get added or removed throughout the course of the project, this is a great way to kind of account for that variability without needing someone to manually update a secondary sheet. So that's a great example of where you would use a report for a source for a chart instead of a metrics sheet. Thanks for joining us for today's session. I hope it gave you some good ideas on where it might be better for you to use reports for your charts rather than other methods such as summary or metric sheets. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them down below in the comments or reach out to us at OptimumCS.com. Thanks and have a good day.